My name is Matthew Rosenberg, and this video is my experience of a recent Vipassana, 10-day silent Vipassana meditation that I did. So it was actually 2 months ago that I did it. I've been meaning to make this video for a while, and I did the meditation in Lima, Peru, because a lot in especially the United States, the classes are quite full. But in Lima, it's not full, so you can get in. So my experience, well, actually, before I talk about my experience, let me tell you what it is. So I assume people who are watching this video are considering doing a 10-day Vipassana meditation. So this video is for you all. So a 10-day Vipassana through this organization, dharma.org, I believe is the website. They're essentially donation-based meditation retreats. So you spend 10 days in silence, and you spend about, of those 10 days, 12 hours a day meditating in silence for the most part. So, and the men and the women are kept separate. The only time you really see them is in the meditation room, but you're facing forward, so you'd have to look over if you really wanted to see them. So you're kept separate, which I think is good. Though the meditation itself, for me, it wasn't for me. I'll just say that. I don't want to knock it, because there were many people who came to the retreat who benefited. They left feeling like they found a spiritual practice. There are a few people that had been to Vipassana before, and they had experienced before, and they had come to do another one. So essentially, you wake up at 4:30 a.m., 4 a.m., you meditate from 4:30 to 6:30 a.m., and throughout the day. You only have 2 meals a day, really. There's breakfast at 6:30, and then lunch I think at 11, and then at evening you get a snack around 6 or 5. But what I didn't like particularly about the meals, maybe this is particular to the South America, Lima one, but it was all carbohydrates. So essentially it was oatmeal, and it was all the sugar you want. It was all this maple syrup stuff and refined sugar and fruit, fruit is nice. But it was just, and then for lunch it was like pastas and breads, and it was all carbs. And then at lunch and at dinner was fruit. The snack was dinner was fruit with sugar. So it's like sugar is the anti-meditation. Ideally, if you want to go deeper with your meditation, you can't. You need to your mind needs to stabilize for a bit. So yeah. To be honest, I didn't really have such deep meditations. I had many insights into my psyche, which is going to happen when you spend 10 days in silence. But the meditative aspects, I didn't really have deep insights of. I didn't penetrate deeply into emptiness at all. I had one really deep experience, and that was after about 10 hours of meditating, when they played the audio, which is a whole nother thing. The tape. You listen to tapes. You need, the teacher up there, he or she is not even talking. It's just you listening to tapes from the 70s, which are very dry, they're very hyper-masculine, and they're very dogmatic. That's another aspect that I didn't like. But yeah, the only deep experience I had was I was just listening to the tapes, and I closed my eyes, and I just started to probably because I was so tired, I just simply started to absorb. I entered into a deep absorption for a few minutes. And that was really it. The tapes themselves, yeah, like I said, the teacher is he kind of knocks religion, and it's saying it's dogmatic, but then towards the end he's saying this is the path, this is the only path, and it's like they're recruiting students, and so yeah, I didn't like that aspect of it. I had an aversion to that. And to be honest, I'll be honest, I didn't give the method a full chance, because before I went in, I had a meditation practice that was quite full for me. I've had very deep insights meditating with my method, which is essentially silent witness meditation. You become the space in which all thoughts, impulses, sounds, feelings, all of them are simply just arisings and fallings in your consciousness. You need not give any arising any more importance than any other. And what I didn't like about this style, it's a body scanning method. So essentially you scan through your body, muscle by muscle, and you go down and you go up, which is a doing. It's something you have to do. I don't believe meditation is something you have to do. It's just, you just simply rest as awareness as the arisings come and they go. So that was my experience. You know, it's kind of like the austere path. It's very hyper masculine. It's like you need to push yourself into enlightenment, because the goal of this method is enlightenment. Make no doubt about it. He says it the first day, every day. You're going for full realization, which I think is a great lofty goal to have. It requires that type of tapas, that type of fire in your spiritual practice. But I don't believe that model of meditating 12 hours a day in a monastery or in your house or wherever. I believe it is outdated. I believe meditation retreats are good, they're helpful, but I believe what is required presently is a spiritual practice that we can bring into the marketplace. So into our work, into our interpersonal relationships. So essentially you bring the fire of meditating for 12 hours a day into your mindfulness practice of every single moment. And this is why I wrote my ebook, Leaning into Life. The conditions were quite, bare. It's a very austere path. You fast your way into enlightenment. The people who've done the Vipassana before, for the second, third, or whatever, fourth time, they don't even get the dinner. So they finish eating by 11. And the beds are very thin, and the people who've done it before have to, they don't even get a bed. They get a little mattress pad they have to sleep on with no pillows. So yeah, I think the whole method's dated. I truly do. If anyone asks me, unless they're a very young person who's very like push, gotta do and achieve, otherwise I would recommend them not to do it. There's a balance. It's a very masculine practice, but there's also a balance of feminine, which was not included. And the teacher that was up front, I was really not impressed at her level of development. I mean, she obviously could meditate, but I saw some really childish patterns come out in front of in her, which I'm not going to mention. But it was just really disappointing to see that the teacher that they had selected to have demonstrate and give us some lessons and speak to us, it was childish. It felt like it's sort of. And so anyways, that's all I'm going to share for now. I'm not going to get into my personal experience. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful for you. I have an ebook, Leaning into Life. You can visit cafeholistic.com, and that should get you to where you need to get to find my ebook, Leaning into Life. And thank you so much for watching these videos.